Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. How are you today? It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 to 8:30. It's time for coffee and conversations with Melissa. I am so excited to introduce you one of my Coffee Connect attendees, which I'm going to showcase and have conversations with her today. So let me tell you about her first. By the way, I am Melissa Ducas. I'm the founder and CEO of My Coffee Connect, which is a business to business quality connections to business to business. So um, she is the owner of Red 5 Communications, a content development firm for small businesses. She helps small to medium sized businesses write websites, blogs, mission statements, pamphlets, social media posts, and more. She received her PhD in English and began her career teaching writing at Drew University and Fairleigh Dickinson University. The academic job market was not what she expected. She took her skills to the corporate arena and worked first as an editor and then as a communications specialist. She then took her experience and became involved in small business marketing, which is how Red 5 Communications was born. She loves working with business owners to help them find their voice and create the words that will lead to their success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lisa Tomaszewski of Red 5 Communications.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Melissa. It's so good to see you tonight.
Yes, it's. I'm so excited to for you to give a lot of nuggets today for for our audience. So this is my first ever question to my attendees for my coffee and conversations because I want them to know you more personally. So how, why, and who inspires you to do what you do today?
Well, it's been a long journey. In fact, the name of my company, Red 5 Communications, is based on two things: red, my favorite color, and five, the five career paths it took me to get to where I am. I was
Oh.
inspired to start my business because when I left corporate America and began to work in the small business arena, I spoke with a lot of small business owners who were struggling with meeting and getting it done and finding the time to get it done. And little by little, I began to do favors here and there. I began to help people, and I began to really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I really um, felt fulfilled by helping them out because I really believe in small businesses. And I was able to use all of the information, all the experience I gathered throughout the years to be able to accomplish it. So that is really what inspired me as a small business owner. They wanted help, and I was happy to give it to them.
So what's inspired you to start your own business?
Well, really, it was a matter of being pulled in different directions. When you work somewhere, when you have a job, you're committed to that one job and you want
Mm-hmm.
to give it your all. And because other small businesses had these needs that I wanted to help them with, I was being pulled here, there, everywhere. So finally, I got to a point where I can do this as my full-time job. I can actually do the thing that I'm sneaking off in the evening to do for fun as my full-time job. And it has been a wonderful choice ever since.
So tell us more about your business. Can you describe your business?
Absolutely. I use the term content development, which is a big fancy word. But really, I write. And that's basically what I do. I've been training my whole life to write clearly and effectively, and to do so in a way that can engage and inform people. I've done that for all kinds of things. I've done that for financial planning. I've done it for pharmaceutical marketing. I've done it for academia. And now I do it for small businesses. So with my business, I provide those writing services, those smaller writing services that a lot of businesses just don't have time to accomplish. Uh,
Yes.
Social media posts. They're
Yes.
easy enough to do. We all
Yeah.
take pictures of our dinner and put them up online. But
Yes.
when you're a small business that is running a Facebook, Instagram page, what have you, you have to plan out what
Yeah.
you're going to do, and you have to be consistent. You
Yeah.
have to be well worded. You have to be effective. And as a small business owner, you might do that once in a while, but
Yeah.
to accomplish it consistently can be a real challenge. You also have to have a strong website with a lot of strong content on it. And I provide that writing as well. Content on websites also needs to be refreshed in order to have a strong SEO, which is a search engine optimization. Meaning when somebody Googles your business, you want to come to the top. In
Yes.
order to accomplish that, you need a website with refreshed new content. Business owners don't have time to write new content or put blogs on their websites. I'm here to help with that as well. So
That's
basically,
good.
I always say, write. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
Since you mentioned that, tell us, why is writing such an important part of a business marketing strategy?
I am so glad you asked that because, now more than ever, we are always online. We are using websites to find out information about businesses. And I hate to say it, but the business sales pitch is over. Nobody wants to be sold to anymore.
Yes.
What customers want is information. And in order to provide that to your customer base, you need clear, accessible writing that is focused on their perspective. So basically, you need to be able to write effectively to your audience without writing over their head, but with also giving them information they need to make informed decisions.
So thank you for mentioning that. So what do you think is a business owner's biggest challenge when it comes to communications?
It's definitely writing from their perspective instead of writing to the pain points of their customers. I've seen a lot of times where clients will come to me with a piece of writing they want me to proofread. I do offer proofreading services as well. And it will read like a laundry list of their concerns, of their pain points, of, I'm struggling because I have too much work, so please be patient with me. Or, I'm struggling because of this. And customers don't want to hear that. They want you to address their concerns. And sometimes it just takes another perspective to look at the writing and to make sure that you're effectively communicating to your customers, that you understand what their needs are and you can fill them.
We have a new guest here. Hello, Bangay. Hello, ladies. He said, hello, Bangay. If you have any questions, just give us a holler, give us comments or something. So there are a lot of different kinds of businesses out there. How do you manage to work with different business owners who are in very different technical fields?
That is actually, I'm so glad you asked that, because that's one of the issues that gets brought to me all the time. Well, that's great. You have a PhD in English, you know Shakespeare. How are you going to help me with AutoCAD? What do you know about house painting and all of these other topics? Well, as it turns out, it's actually the most exciting part of my job. I am a lifelong student, and I love to learn new things. I've written for technical, scientific topics in medical publishing. I've written for technical subjects like annuities and finance. And when I switched to the small business arena, my employer was a home improvement. So I learned everything about windows, doors, siding, and was able to write that effectively from the perspective of the consumer. And so what I do normally is I'll meet with the client and I'll have a long discussion with them, asking them questions about their business, trying to get to the heart of what needs to be communicated. And I become very familiar with that particular technical topic. I really love doing that.
Yeah. So you're saying you're not just writing, you just research it. You research it, can I say Google, whatever, like research it or doing something like that.
I'm not going to deny that I Google from time to time.
Yes.
But yeah, oftentimes before I meet with a client, I'll do kind of that preliminary research so that I'll ask them questions.
Yes.
I'm currently working with a yoga instructor.
Yes.
And I said, what is Shavasana?
Yes.
And, I looked it up and I think it's this.
Yeah.
Am I right? And we'll talk about it, and I'll get her perspective on it, and I'll be able to get a broader perspective on it. Now, I don't want to become too technical.
Yeah.
Because if I'm too technical, then I'm going to lose the customer base
Yes.
that my client wants to reach.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing?
Cheryl, oh my God, long time no see.
By the way, Cheryl she's my sister-in-law. She's the one who brought Lisa in my Coffee Connect. So thank you, Cheryl, for bringing Lisa.
Shameless plug, Cheryl is an awesome travel agent. If anybody needs help in that arena, people are starting to travel again or plan for next year, call Cheryl.
Cheryl. There you go. What is the best tip you can give to small businesses in terms of their writing? Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yes, I got plenty good stuff.
Yes.
First, I would say to them, have somebody proofread their work. Even if you can't hire somebody to do content development, hire them in. Get somebody that you trust to look at your writing and read it. We are programmed in our brains when we write something to read over it without finding mistakes. You'll read over something that you have written and carefully looked over, and your brain will compensate for errors that are on that page. So it is of vital importance. It doesn't make you a worse writer. You need to have a proofreader no matter how good you are. So that's a tip number one. Tip number two, I would say, would be consistency. Be consistent in the writing that you put out to your audience. If you're gonna, I've seen so many businesses do social media and not post for 2 weeks and then put 4 posts out on one day without scheduling them out. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And that's not going to help you get the traction that you need. You really need to do that.
Yes.
And 3, don't talk over your audience's head.
Yes.
So many businesses, and bless their hearts, bless everybody's hearts, that you are an expert in your field. You know exactly what you're talking about, what you're writing about, but your audience doesn't. Beware of acronyms. You have the story which occurs all the time where people are like, well, you got to get the LYY with the Y's and Z's, and then make sure that's connected to the V2K. Now, in your field, maybe that makes perfect sense, but to your audience, they're not going to know. I mean, I remember my first day of my first week at work at MetLife. I used to work for MetLife, and my boss, who I really respected, said, just make sure you get an LN out to them, okay? Have that to me by 3, and left. I didn't know what an LN was. I sat at my desk crying because I didn't know what an LN was. It stood for Lotus Notes. She wanted me to send an email. She could have said, Lisa, send an email. We all would have known what to do there. But we as writers and we as communicators in our field, that's one of the biggest mistakes. You'll say things that you know that your audience won't. So be clear and write as if you're writing to somebody that does not work in your field.
I cannot wait for us to work together. I'm so excited if my husband will receive the e-newsletter. He always said, somebody helped me before. Whoa. You didn't write this. He said, I was the one who wrote that. Somebody has to clean it for me. And then Sharon says, so happy to see you. And then she said, yes, I can vouch for Lisa. She has helped me. Awesome. And do you know Denise?
Oh, Denise, you are so sweet. Thank you.
She said, Lisa, you are incredible. I'm so excited for you and your business. Your clients will be incredibly lucky to have your assistance with their social media presence. Yay! Thank you, Sharon, for bringing Lisa,
Denise.
going to have a lot of future collaboration with Coffee Connect. She's gonna be busy.
Yeah.
That's why, because she always promote in my Coffee Connect. Writing, writing, writing. That's
Right.
that's good.
People hate to write. I mean, one of my favorite quotes is, "Writers don't like to write; they like to have written." Even people who write for a living struggle with it. It's not an easy thing.
Yes, I said this always to the writer. You know how to make love with words. Yeah, you really.
My husband's not watching.
Yeah. Okay. What inspires your work and what sets you apart from everyone else?
Well, I think what really inspires me are the other people out there, particularly the women business owners that I've met through My Coffee Connect, who have gone out into the world, who have left out of full-time jobs to start out on their own because they believe in what they're doing.
Mhm.
And when I go to, when I go on the Coffee Connect and meet these people, both men and women, but the women in particular, with such inspirational stories, I think that the courage of other people doing this has inspired me. And what sets me apart is that a lot of writers come into writing for small businesses or writing for other projects right from academia. They come out of writing programs, they come out of PhD programs like mine, and they go directly into it without having the experience of kind of the hard knocks.
Mhm.
Writing is not as stationary as what you learn in the college campus. Writing is something that needs to adjust and evolve as you go from arena to arena. And I've had the opportunity to write for a range of different places and for different purposes. I've written to inform, I've written to market, I've written to entertain, I've written to inspire. And I think that because I'm flexible, wearing all kinds of writing costumes, as you can call them, I'm different than your typical writer. I may have a PhD, but I'm just as happy writing a website for an auto mechanic, which I have a tremendously wonderful time doing. I'm just as happy writing for a swim instructor. All of these things make me really happy, and I have experience changing my wardrobe when I write.
So we want to go deeper to know you more. So what is your background and how did you develop the skills to start your business?
Well, my background is really funny. I'm a first generation American. My parents came from Poland, both of them.
Mhm.
I didn't speak English until I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
It always makes people laugh that I always gravitated towards English as a subject. I always thought the literature classes, the English classes, the writing classes, and I followed that all through college. It was always a happy place for me to be able to work with words. It was something that made me happy, excite me, and I really respect the power of words.
Mhm.
So I went to college and I wanted to become a college professor. So I went to graduate school and my focus was on Shakespeare. So I spent all of my time studying Shakespeare. I think that colors my writing as well because that's so different
Mhm.
from our typical language. After that, I wanted to get a job as a professor, but on the East Coast, it's a very difficult thing to do. And the jobs that I were getting were paying no money. And let's face it, I wanted to own a home. I wanted to go on vacation. I wanted to have a life. So
Mhm.
I transferred over to editing, and I worked as an editor for several publications.
Mhm.
And I transitioned again to communications marketing, and all of that was corporate.
Mhm.
And then there came a point in my life where I had an opportunity to kind of, I'm going to call it like downsize my career.
Yeah.
Go from big Fortune 500 to small business. And that's what I started to do as an employee. And then after I learned a lot about small business, I wanted to do what I did for multiple outlets. So that's really kind of my career journey and how it ended up.
Yeah. So what has been your biggest success to date?
Today, well, there are a couple of things that jump to mind in terms of my successes. I did have one success. One of the first clients that I got a chance to work with was, a really wonderful opportunity where he was trying to communicate to his audience the pandemic was hitting and how it was affecting his business. And although his writing was very good, the thing that we saw was that this message to his customer base was exactly the pitfall that I spoke about earlier. It was him saying what was going wrong with him and what was going wrong, what his struggles were. And although that can be good information for a customer to hear, you got to remember we're all going through it.
Yes.
This pandemic is hitting all of us. There are people that have lost jobs, people that have lost everything, people that are not healthy. And when an outsider like myself reads this, it can come across like, well, what matters is me and not necessarily you. So he didn't even realize it. We talked about it, and once we opened that up, we could change the writing and alter it so that it was the customer's concerns at the main. So we did that, and I'm very proud of that. I was really happy that we were able to pull that off.
Yeah. So we have more guests here. Do you know Kristen?
Oh my goodness! Hi, Kristen. How are you doing?
He said, "Yeah, Lisa, love you. Good luck with the new business. You are amazing." Woohoo!
Oh my goodness, she's one of my oldest friends. Oh my goodness!
So happy you are doing what you love. You are awesome. Oh, you're having a lot of fun here now. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, ladies.
How are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So one of Coffee Connect. Yeah, it's awesome.
What a love fest. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. And then if you have any questions, give us a holler, give us some comments, and then she can answer it.
Please, your darkest writing fears. I'm happy to unpack them with you.
Yes. Describe your typical workday.
Well, things have changed quite a bit since the pandemic, and this is not necessarily the work environment that I pictured myself in when things started. I am a mom. I have a gorgeous 10-year-old boy, William, who is just wonderful. And unfortunately, no summer camp, no childcare, but still a very active little boy that mom is trying to keep off the screen and limit, video game time. I know night is great, but trying to keep a limit on that. So my workday really has changed in terms of, doing the mom thing, putting him on the bus, going to work. Nowadays, it's a balance between doing the mom thing and taking a client call while making sure the dog goes out so she doesn't have an accident, while, fixing whatever problem my son has gotten into, while writing up whatever project I'm working on, and making sure all my posts are up for social media, handling whatever other kind of fire comes our way. Because in my kind of business, there are certainly those moments where people tell me, please help me, or I need this, can you get this for me? So I try to make myself as available as possible, but always trying to balance my other full-time job, which is mom.
Yeah. So speaking about that, so how is your business influence your life?
My business does influence my life because, it makes me more aware of the world that I'm in. And, in the work that I do, you tend to listen more. You tend to give people, somebody comes across You're always looking for the background and the context of what people are saying. Because when you're right, and when you're trying to be a professional writer for this sort of industry, you always need to think about, okay, I'm going to say this.
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to affect somebody else? Will
Mm-hmm.
they be offended? Will they be uplifted? How will my words affect how other people feel? And that's the number one challenge today, isn't it? Making sure as a business owner that you're putting out messaging
Yeah.
that's going to uplift and celebrate and build trust and engage rather than alienate.
Mm-hmm.
So, conducting myself in the world has become very American. I don't want to say the term that is so charged, like politically correct, because it's gotten a bad rap. But I honestly believe in making an effort to communicate with kindness,
Yes.
communicate to build bridges, to build connections,
Connections. I was about to say that. Connections. Yes.
build connections, as opposed to, push people away. I want to know everybody. I want to, learn from other people, because that's the only way you become stronger, you become better, is when you hear other voices and you hear other perspectives. So
Yeah.
I live my life in that space because I have to live it in the work that I do.
So you guys, I do hope you have a pen and paper. There's a lot of nuggets here that he's been telling us. So if you want to know more, and then we can watch it again later.
Yep.
We have more audience here. Hello, Hallie. How are you doing?
Oh, how are you?
Yeah, as a mom also, she feels the same of what you experience. And
Yeah.
she said, balance is the key. Yes. Yay, Patty Lynn. Nice to meet you here. So you're doing an amazing job juggling it all. Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah.
how a business is. You have to you have to do it all.
Yeah,
You're
it really is.
you're the secretary, you're the president, you're what's it called,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And I am certainly not the only working mom dealing with this. I mean, I have friends in all walks of life that are struggling with the balance of pandemic,
Yes.
trying to keep your children safe,
Yes.
giving them some sense of normalcy, but realizing that it's just not normal right now.
It is not. Yeah. 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 So we get to know more about its business. So it's time for us to bring back to you. So what are the 3 good referrals for you?
Oh, referrals for me. Well, of course, small businesses.
Yes.
But oftentimes, a really good referral to me is I love to meet web designers.
Yes.
If I could meet web designers, oftentimes web designers, they meet a client, they sit down with them, they build a gorgeous website, and then they go to the client and say, okay, I need 500 words here, I need 300 words here, and their client can't do it, doesn't have the time, doesn't know where to begin. And so oftentimes web designers are one of my strongest teammates in terms of business, because then they call me and they say, okay, Lisa, I'm working with this person who's, a handyman, and he wants to put a website together, but he doesn't want to write it. Can you work with him? And that's where I live. That's my happy place. I love to reach out, talk to them, get some insight, and write up their story. And I've been hearing some wonderful stories from these small business owners.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. How do you do that? Do you interview them? Do you have question and answers or something like that to get to know what they do?
I do. I usually prep before I speak with them on the phone or on a Zoom call. And I come up with questions, but I also let them guide, because even though I'm writing it, the difference between, I'm not a writer, I'm not a novelist. I'm not writing to
They need to
satisfy
give you
myself. I'm writing to give that person their voice, not mine.
Yes.
I'm writing to get from them their story and share it. And I usually do a few questions asking about the technicalities of their industry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know about them. People are very interested to know, just like the questions you're asking me. How did you get started? I recently worked with a rappel man who he's starting his own business, and when I asked him, I go, I bet you grew up in a household where your family didn't throw things away. And he's like, how did you know? And I go, because I can only sense it.
Yeah.
You're seeing your passion. So
Yeah.
that's always interesting to me. I always enjoy
So
it.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa is one of my Coffee Connect attendees. So this is my attendees are my products. So this is how I showcase my product professionally. So I want them to know them. I want you to know them personally, not just business. So tell them about your experience about my Coffee Connect.
My Coffee Connect has been wonderful and a lifesaver, especially during the pandemic, because what Melissa has come up with is, in a sense, it's simple, but in a sense, it's also revolutionary. A system of networking with other business owners that is very accessible, very easy to do through a Zoom platform like similar to this, where you're able to meet a group of people and then meet with them on a smaller scale, groups of just 4 or 3 people, where you can really make a connection. And she does a wonderful job in trying to pair people who are well suited to work together. And you can really meet a lot of great people in a short amount of time, and really, really get a wonderful network through this. So I really thank Lisa for everything she's done for me. Thank
Do
you.
you have any collaboration with any Coffee Connect attendees?
There are a couple of Coffee Connect attendees that I've been kind of meeting with. One of the things that we're encouraged to do is to follow up with phone calls. And there is a graphic designer that I have spoken with a couple of times. And there is also a small marketing firm that has been in contact with me a couple of times. And they too are finding the challenge of, they create great logos and great art. But when it comes to the words, they can be happy to do it.
Did Jasmine connect with you? Jasmine from the Philippines.
Not from the Philippines. I don't remember Jasmine for the Philippines, but I'm looking forward to meeting her.
Yes, I think I connect you with her.
Was she in one of the 4 groups? The group
Yes, Jasmine. Jasmine Addo. She's the one who did my logo.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I will follow up with that though.
So those of you who are watching the businesses, if you would like to join us for my Coffee Connect on September, I have an open house on August 17, Monday and Tuesday, 18. I will post the link here if you want to register under Lisa Tomaszewski. Yes, I remember Tomaszewski from Lisa. I call her Lisa T because there's 2 Lisa in Lisa B and Lisa T. That's why I said, if you want to join us, register under Lisa Tomaszewski. And if you want to join us in September, it's only $30. $5 will be donated to AAYLF. And you are going to have 8 events, which is my goal is to group you to 4 people. And if you refer a friend, you automatically jump up to experience a lifetime membership of platinum membership of My Coffee Connect. You will experience a $5 donation to AAYLF, 8 events, plus you are going to be highlighted with a spotlight in Coffee and Conversations with Melissa. Plus, you are going to be featured as a speaker at the Business Lecture Series. And I think, plus,
but wait, there's more.
Yes, wait, there's more. The My Coffee Connect t-shirt. So sign up. All you have to do is sign up and show up, and I do all the legwork because you cannot exchange business cards. So I am going to let you fill the info, and all I have to do is copy and paste it and give it to your connections. So that's why that's a good thing. So Cheryl says, Melissa is amazing too. Ooh, I love you, sister. Coffee Connect is such a great way for small independent business to network. Thank you, Cheryl. She's really my sister-in-law. I love her. Yeah. I cannot believe you're doing English. You still need help for Lisa. I thought you are all like because me is like, oh my god, if I talk in English sometimes I translate it in my language, and my language is kind of like backwards.
Oh
And
yeah.
we don't have he and she, and this is my number one problem, communication with my husband too. And I've been telling him, oh my god, can you read between the lines, something like that. That's why I'm trying my best to understand what he wants to do. So Cheryl says, is smiley face. Yeah, but the good thing about us is we do love each other. So if we're still here, we're 16 years. Oh my God, oh my God, we do overtime today, but you gave us a lot of nuggets, a lot of things that we learned about writing. The writing, 911 writing, Lisa Tomaszewski, Red 5 Communication. So where are they going to connect with you if they want to hire you?
I would start by just friending me on Facebook, Red 5 Communications. My website is being built right now. And, shoemaker's wife always doesn't have shoes. So here I am writing, and my website is being written. So go to my Facebook page. You can always reach me through there.
Yeah, looking forward to my growth, because if I grow, I'm going to hire the companies that support Coffee Connect. So I will definitely going to hire you soon. And then Bongai says, awesome ladies, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bongai, thank you so much, Cheryl, for bringing Alisa to my Coffee Connect. Patty Lynn, Holly, Maureen Dixon, James Russo, Christine Walaga, Dennis Michelle, Bongai. Thank you so much for watching with us, for tuning in with us, and thank you for giving us a comment. Please, please like my page, Coffee and Conversations with Melissa, and subscribe in my YouTube, Coffee and Conversations with Melissa. So, see you next time. My next business spotlight tomorrow is Carol Campani of CBD, Living CBD Canaway.
Oh, she's good. That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a good one.
Looking forward to know more about healthy stuff. So thank you so much, Lisa. And is there any words that you want to tell them?
Just it's all about writing is not scary. It's just something that needs to be done with clarity, and I'm always happy to help.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Christine, thank you, and have a great day. Have a good night.
Good
Bye.
night, everybody.